Have you ever heard the expression time equals money? Well guys, I will explain it to you why today you are in a trap because of this own expression.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. Listen the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you.
Before we start, I want to ask you something. Who was the person or who was the entity that actually told you that time equals money? When I was 17, I got something figured out. And the thing was, my grandparents told me how actually the world functions and why 99% of the people play the rigged game. The thing is, believe it or you don't, it's true. And I will explain it to you. Well, since we are little children, we were taught that time equals money, right? Well, let me make it more detailed for you. Actually, skill multiplied by time equals your paycheck, right? So since they are all connected, because it's a multiplying game, let me ask you something. In order to raise the paycheck, what do we need to do? Simple. We either have the opportunity to increase our time work, okay? So if we are working in a bakery, in order to make more money, what? We need to make extra hours. In order to make more money in a restaurant, we need to make extra hours. In order to make more money in our own business, when we have a business and we are self-employed, we need to work more hours because our skill level remains the same. The other opportunity that we have is to work with our skills and improve our skills continuously. But you know that also improving skills or learning skills or going into a school or going into an institute to learn some skills implies a lot of what? Time again. So it doesn't matter what are you choosing, time or skill, in the end it will all imply a lot of time. To make it even more clear for you guys, understand what I'm trying to tell you right now with an easy example. If I was in 1940 and people would have need lumberjacks, a good skill to learn back then was lumberjacks. And if they paid me $10 an hour, then in 8 hours I would have what? $80, right? But I need to pay my taxes on it. So for $80 I would have something about like $55 to $60. If I would learn the lumberjack skill nowadays in 2018, I will actually show you an example right now how the trees are cut. Has nothing to do with lumberjacking no more. So the exactly same thing happened with the telephone, happened with the factory, happened with the cars. So the old skills, so actually the people that taught us exactly this formula, time equals money, were back then in 1940 really successful with it, but nowadays they don't work no more. So got it until now? Time equals money, skill multiplied by time equals your paycheck. This 40 hours a week, 40 weeks a year, and 40 years in order to get a pension, well actually it doesn't function anymore. I told you guys that I've learned this formula when I was 17 years old for my grandparents. And when I heard about it, I actually understood that school will bring me only to learn a new skill, a skill that actually works only when the workplace is available. So that means I was dependent on a workplace. I've totally stopped learning. Why? Because I understood I didn't want to work for other people in my entire life, but it was my luck because my grandparents were both of them entrepreneurs. In a normal family, you will learn this rule, this formula that I have already told you guys. Skill multiplied by time equals your paycheck. Well, there are easier ways. First of all, the skills that you are learning nowadays, the skills that you can learn nowadays, they can be worth more than $10, $20 a month. And also, these skills you can self-taught yourself. You don't believe me? Well, I will give you some examples. You will understand exactly how people self-taught some skills like Grant Cardone sales, Gary V social media, entire social media marketing is the guru. Then Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, and the examples can go on and on and on. The skills nowadays that you really need in a IT world, in a technological world. You are not being taught that anymore in school. So going to school and learning something, you will actually be prepared not for the future but for the what? Past. Of course, and this is why you will always apply the same formula in your life. Well, we'll talk right now about the solutions. The solutions for this formula and how you can get out of the trap, and you too can build yourself either a career, if you want a career to work for someone else or work with someone, or you can build yourself a business. One of the solutions, as I told you, you need to learn some skills, some new skills like Adobe After Effects, or learn some Premiere Pro cutting methods. The thing is really simple, guys. You need to understand something. Our brain is programmed, was programmed, and will always be programmed. The thing is, you cannot run Adobe Premiere Pro, because we are here at this example on a Windows 95. You need a new program to run it on. So first of all, before you even start learning the new skills, you need to change your mindset, because in a business world, things don't happen like this. Actually, in a business world, you will capitalize on what you did in the past. So this is the most amazing thing that you actually need to understand, because the active work means I go to work and I get paid, so time equals money. So the old formula applies again. You just need to figure it out where the old formula applies it, and just get rid of it from your entire life. In a business world, the old formula doesn't apply anymore, because you are going to work, you are not getting money, so time doesn't mean money. So the old formula doesn't work, and I am free. I can actually apply, I can go all in, I can do my thing, I can do my stuff, and then in half a year or 1 year, when I got it all figured out, I can make money passively, okay? Because there is no passive, 100% passive income, but I can make passive most of my income from the past. So you can learn the skills, you can learn Adobe, you can learn VFX, you can learn everything that you want. You can learn technology, you can learn programming, you can learn WordPress. You have amazing stuff to learn on internet. The most efficient and the easiest way to learn them, guys, and listen carefully, is by doing it. Because you are getting stuck. This is the way that we have been taught in the school. Just go and learn a lot of theory, and then practice none. When you practice none, then nothing will stick to you. Because if I start right now and tell you how you can apply LUTs, and how the camera will influence your videos and so on and so forth, and I will tell you right about it an entire year, do you think you will remember something at the end of the year? You will not remember nothing. This is why Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat and Gary Vee and so on and so forth, and actually Gary Vee says it himself, you just need to document and not create, because document is about what you've done and not what you are about to do. Because when you talk about what you are about to do, actually you talk in theory and you get stuck in your mind, because when you do something, you actually adapt and do it in the process. So you just adapt, and you get to figure it out. This is why the most efficient way to start a business is just to start. When you start about thinking what I should do, what should I create, then a million scenarios will happen in your mind, and then the fear and ego, your pride will take over, and actually you will get stuck in your mind, because you will think that you are not prepared. So the key to business itself, first of all, to get completely rid of the formula, and the second one is to start and just do it in the process, because you will get better with the time. If you right now are working for someone else and this is not your dream, well guys, listen, you don't need to quit your job, but if you have 2, 4, 6 hours extra every single day, I don't know if you're working full-time or part-time, but if you have extra hours every single day, just invest it in what you love most, or invest it in a skill that also is fun for you. If it's photography, good, then become a good photographer. Learn how to use Photoshop, learn how to really modify people pictures. Just go to other people and say, okay, I've seen that you have some really nice material, but you can take it to the next level. And when you say that, you can ask them for some pictures, and you can actually modify them for them, and then people will talk about you. If you are really good in a business, for example, if you understood that business models have nothing to do with actually the business model that run nowadays, and people look for solutions because they want to break out from the system, the business people, they are innovators, so they need to, then go and build seminars. And when you go and build seminars and you can help them, you can give your value. First of all, just bring people, invite them in your seminar, give that for free, and people will see it and they'll recommend you ahead. and this is how it functions in every single business. So I know a guy that actually was working only for himself on Instagram. He was posting all his material on Instagram, and some musicians in Romania contact him and want now that he does a video for them. So listen, the world is changing, the skills are changing. If you still adapt in the past, like you are doing right now with the old school system, then you will be obsolete in a couple of days, in a couple of months, or in a couple of years. It doesn't matter. In the end, even if you are thinking on the short-term gains and completely forgetting about the long-term potential, then you are screwing yourself up. But first of all, I hope you understood that skill multiplied by money equals your paycheck. It's useless nowadays because this is a linear growth and this is active. You need to trade your skills for the money and then you'll get some paycheck. This is how it functions. You need to get rid of that completely. Just identify where you have it in your life, where it is at the moment, and just get rid of it. If you cannot do it right away because you don't need to quit your job, as I already said, just do it on the part-time. But when you do it on the part-time, don't apply it again. Because some of you will start a new business, as I told you right now, and you will go and then you will sell your skill again for money. But people will, if they don't know what your skills are, if you don't give first, then in this world, in this giving economy that we have right now, this is not a taking economy, this is giving economy, then you will be obsolete again. So you just need to completely forget this formula. Guys, it doesn't work. It will never work. It will never work again. And soon enough, there will be less and less workplaces and more people that actually need a workplace. And guess what? They need to train. But if you start right now, if you get outside of your mind and if you are not stuck anymore in the process of thinking about doing what you think about, okay, about your idea or about what you're planning, just do it, then you have the advantage. You have the time ahead of other people. Imagine this, if you start right now, in the next 5 years, many more will start. And it is never too late to start. If you want to go on YouTube, just go on YouTube. If you want to do it on Facebook, just do it on Facebook. If you want to do it on Instagram, do it on Instagram. There are opportunities. As long as the platform is there and it's available and it's not shutting down, you can do it. And when you understand exactly what I'm saying right now, then you will understand that exponential growth has nothing to do with the money. Exponential growth has all to do with the time. Because the less time you have, the more time you give for money, the less time you have to invest for your own skills, self-taught skills, and improving them skills and going for the experience, then the less time you have actually for yourself. And guys, there is no exponential growth without time. At the end, I just want to tell you one single thing. When you first started to make YouTube, to make videos, Facebook, Instagram, we were noobs, we were completely rookies on it. We had no clue how to do it, but now the game has changed. You understand this?